भद्रम् कर्णेभिः शृणुजामदेवाः भद्रम् पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितम् यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यन्नित्यमानन्दमनन्तमेकं शिवेति नाम्ना श्रुतयो गृह्णन्ति तस्यावतारो नररूपधारी कृपासुदाब्धि भुवि रामकृष्णः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। यस्यात्मभूतस्य गुरोः प्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात्। सर्वोपदेष्टुः पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्याङ्घ्रियुग्मं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। We are seeing the philosophical analysis of Sri Ramakrishna Aratrikam written by Swami Vivekananda. The entire stotra, which contains 8 shlokas, is full of Vedantic teachings. Swamiji spent much of his preaching time with the Westerners. He wanted to reveal the grandness of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's advent, the purpose of Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings to the Western society, but he had some constraint over the audience. Therefore, he could not express convictions he had about Sri Ramakrishna to the Western world. When he came to India, he declared openly that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is none other than the Lord himself. When he wrote Ramakrishna Aratri song, he has given all the ideas he wanted to tell to the society. But unfortunately, it was in the poem form, which is subject to interpretations, which is subject to gloss over also. In spite of repeatedly singing this song, many of us are yet to discover the significance of the ideas hidden in these songs. Therefore, only this humble attempt of analysis of Ramakrishna Aratrika. So far we have analyzed 2 shlokas. Today we will try to analyze 3rd shloka. The 3rd shloka goes like this: Bhaswara bhavasagara chira unmata prema pathar bhaktarjana yugala charana tarana bhavapar. General meaning of the shloka is, O Lord, you are the ever-existing pure conscious entity. You are Nirguna Vastu. And you are the embodiment of sattvic divine emotions. You are ever intoxicated with divine love. And you are the ocean of unconditional love. Devotees surrender to your holy feet in order to cross this samsara sagara. Bhaswara Bhava Sagara means you are the embodiment of sattvic emotions. Chira Unmata means you are intoxicated with divine love. Prema Pathar, you are the ocean of unconditional love. Bhaktarjana Yugala Charana, the holy feet to which the devotees surrender. For what purpose they surrender? Tarana Pavapar, in order to cross the samsara sagara. Since you are who can help us to cross over the samsara sagara, therefore we the devotees surrender to you. We will go through meaning of each word. Bhaswara Bhava Sagara. Two different ways this word can be interpreted. One is from the angle of avatara, from the angle of Saguna Brahma. Another is from the angle of Nirguna Brahman. Vedanta repeatedly says Bhagavan is formless at the same time with all forms. This should be etched in our mind. We may ask, or some other person who belongs to some other culture or religion may ask, how is it possible a formless entity assuming all the forms? Generally formless is formless, that which is with form is form. Simultaneously, how it is possible if it is asked? Vedanta says, the form is appearance, formlessness is the reality. The form is appearance, formlessness is the reality. So, Bhaswara Bhava Sagara means embodiment of sattvic emotions. Bha means shining one, sattvic, pure. Bhaswaraha means embodiment of sattvic. Bhavaha means mental dispositions, emotions, attitudes. Sagaraha means ocean. You are the ocean of or embodiment of sattvic emotions, spiritual attitudes. Why Swami Vivekananda puts this epithet to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna means, in other avatars of the Lord, we find the manifestation of rajasic moods also. Sometimes tamasic moods also. Killing the people is tamasic aspect. Getting lost in kama krodha is rajasic aspect. We find in Narasimha Avatara full of krodha. Maybe drama, that is different. That is from the another angle. But for perception, when we describe the life of an avatara, you can never describe Narasimha Avatara appeared and smiled at Hiranyakashipu. You cannot describe it. You have to say Narasimha Avatara appeared and frowned at Hiranyakashipu like that. Similarly, you cannot say Lord appeared as Parashurama and very, very beloved to the entire humanity, especially Kshatriyas. You cannot say that. So, there are Leelas. From that angle, this guna is described. And it is not going to taint the Lord, because Lord is going to be an asanga vastu. Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Bhagavan himself has told, even though I may appear as though crying, born, struggling, beaten or fighting, but still all are drama, you try to remember. One who understands my Leela is a qualified person to understand the reality of the entire creation and the reality of the Lord and oneself. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha yaha tattvataha veti. What you want him to know the reality? Janma karma chame divyam. Mama Janma, Mama Karma are Divyam. In whatever way expressed. To tell in an understandable language, even when a person appears as a villain in cinema, in reality, the actor may be a man of character. Correct? We had one person like that in olden days. So all the time he will appear as villain only. But you observe his personal life, people who have observed, who lived with him, they say he is an embodiment of character. You know the name. So, it's all dialogues. But when you talk in the dialogue, when the person talks that particular dialogue, how you describe, how you give a board to that person. No villain comes with a board, I am villain. No hero comes with a board, I am hero. It is the onlooker who gives certificate that he is hero, he is villain. Correct? Whether it is in story or novel, how the onlooker gives the certificate? Certificate is based on the action and the dialogue of the character. Correct? Similarly, we the devotees are onlooker. To us, Lord's Leela are described. So from one standpoint, when we say Narasimha Avatara is an embodiment of Krodha Avatara, it is correct. But we cannot say Bhagavan had Krodha. It was a drama. Therefore, the Krodhatvam, which is attributed to the Lord, will not taint the Lord, because Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san. While performing all these leelas, I am not tainted because I am never born. What a contradiction. That's how Hinduism is full of confusion galore. It is impossible for an ordinary mind to understand philosophy of Hinduism. You say Bhagavan doesn't have any guna at all, attribute at all. At the same time, you say Bhagavan lives in Vaikunta, in Shivaloka. And you say Bhagavan is one. At the same time, you have 33 crores of forms. So, a normal mind can never grasp this. But Vedanta gives the principle, underlying principle. Nirgunatvam is reality, Sagunatvam is Leela. Here, Swami Vivekananda describes Sri Ramakrishna as the embodiment of sattvic emotions. 3 types of emotions: Tamasa, Rajasa, Sattvika emotions. Generally govern our human life. In other avatars we find as Rama or Krishna or Narasimha or Parashurama. So we find, along with the expression of sattvic moods, Rajasic and Tamasic moods also were expressed. When the Rajasic and Tamasic moods are expressed, there will be quarrel, there will be shouting, there will be fighting, there will be killing, there will be abducting. Krishna abducts Rukmini Devi. You can never imagine that situation in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's life. Krishna becomes father for thousands of children. He had Ashtamahishis, 8 crowned queens. With each, he had 10 children. And 16,100, that is another group, he married. So total 16,108. So he could perform that Leela as an householder. Therefore, Bhakta can describe him, you are the Mahagrahastha. But the Mahagrahastha epithet will not be applicable to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Understand? So, this epithet that you are the embodiment of sattvic emotions is the base for a devotee to understand that Lord who has assumed in the form of Sri Ramakrishna is the highest manifestation. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, Avatara Varishtaya. The Varishtatvam is in the form of sattvic qualities. In every avatara there is a particular role, dialogue and leelas. And other avatars we find quarrels, fighting. And in this avatara we don't find Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna even scolded someone else. So that much of sattvic dispositions expressed in his life. Bhaswara Bhavasagara means one who is the ocean of sattvic and pure spiritual attitudes. One who is devoid of rajasic and tamasic attitudes. In Bhakti Shastram, in sadhaka stage, 6 types of spiritual attitudes are described in sadhaka avastha. A sadhaka can relate with the Lord with these 6 types of attitudes. Shanta bhavaha, dasya bhavaha, then vatsalya bhavaha, sakya bhavaha, madhura bhavaha. 6 type of attitudes are described. Shanta bhavaha means sarvatra ishvara darshanena. Seeing the Lord everywhere, seeing the entire creation as the manifestation of the Lord, the sadhaka never reacts negatively to the life situation. This bhava was practiced by rishis of the yore. In olden days, rishis, they were immersed in this particular bhava. Therefore, whatever happens to the jagat or whatever happens to their own body, they will not react. They are very much sure, I am never away from the Lord. Anything I come across in my life is nothing but Bhagavan only. It is called Virat Darshanam. Normal sadhaka thinks that I am away from the Lord, therefore I have to do sadhana. I am going to do sadhana in this particular attitude. That is the general notion. But in the spiritual practices of rishis, they had this conviction that this entire creation is nothing but the manifestation of the Lord. How could they get this conviction? Because they were having access to original scripture called Veda. In Veda, anywhere you touch, Bhagavan is described as not with particular form, but who is having entire creation has his form, Virat Rupa. In particular form also he is described, but the majority of portion of Veda is Virat Darshanam is explained. Therefore these rishis had this Shanta Bhavaha. Then second one is Dasya Bhavaha. Bhagavan is my master, Yajamanaha, I am his Dasaha, servant. That is the bhava. Hanumanji practiced this. Bhagavan is my master, I am his servant. Then Vatsalya Bhavaha. In this Vatsalya, there are 2 angles. Bhagavan is my parent, father or mother, I am his child, one attitude. Another one is, I am father or mother of Bhagavan. In both, the attitude is what? The type of love is what? Vatsalya. Parental filial love, they call it. Either you consider yourself as the child of the Lord, or you consider the Lord as your child. This was practiced by Yashoda, Dasharatha, and Himavan, like that people. Then Sakya Bhavaha. Bhagavan is my friend. I am his friend, he is my friend. This was practiced by Arjuna and children in Vrindavan. When Bhagavan was living in Vrindavan, cowherd boys never considered him as Bhagavan, in spite of seeing repeatedly so many miracles. They consider him always their friend only. They never thought of we should not give our Uchishta. When Vanabhojanam happens, Krishna brought food, but Krishna forgot to bring pickle. So he asked pickle. That fellow says, another fellow says, no, I have made Uchishta. I have eaten off, so I cannot give it to you. Then another fellow says, opposite side you give. Half only you have made Uchishta, opposite side. Third fellow takes it and does uff uff. Uchishta again. Next half also made Uchishta, then they give to Krishna. Krishna also eats it. This bhava you cannot have when you consider Bhagavan as your master. You cannot give your eaten thing to the Lord. So in that bhava, Sakhya bhava, certain license are given. So there was a play, one should bow down and others will jump on him. So all the children are very happy. They made Krishna to bow down. So all fellows were jumping on him. Seeing this, Devatas got tempted. This Varuna and Surya Devata and others. This is the time we can jump over the Lord. Like that, they also came in the form of cowherd boys. They wanted to touch him and jump over him because all the time they have to stand away from the Lord and say, "Oh Lord, protect us," like that. Only prayer. Now this is the time. We also will join with these fellows. When they came there, "Hey, you are from where?" No, next village. Our village is next village. Then Krishna told, allow them. Krishna knew that these fellows are from heaven. Heaven is next village for Krishna. So they were asked to jump. Surya Devata hesitating. How can? Bhishasmat vatap pavate bhishodeti suryaha bhishasmat agnishchendrascha mrityu dhavati panchamahiti. Upanishad says, fearing whom these fellows are all working. Surya is working properly. Varuna Devata is working properly. Such a Lord, how can we jump? So he was hesitating. Other boys are, "Hey, jump." The Surya Devata touches Krishna and make namaskars. "Hey, this is not the time for namaskar. Jump." Like that, telling one fellow touched Surya Devata, full of heat. "Hey, so much heat your body. Do you have fever?" No, my body's nature is like that. Then, all right, you go that side. You are spoiling our interest. Because when children play, at that same speed, others also should join. Then they requested this Varuna Devata. That fellow also, because knowledge is there, he is Bhagavan, knowledge is there. For cowherd boys, this knowledge is not there. So he was also hesitating. They were compelling him. When they touched Varuna, that fellow is like ice. "Hey, what is this? He is like fire and he is... Hey, what Krishna? Who these fellows?" No, they are from another village. So this Sakhya Bhava is possible only in this attitude. This Sakhyatvam is allowed, this friendship, not giving respect to the Lord. Sanjaya comes to Pandava to give the message of Dhritarashtra that we are not going to give back your land. So after giving that message, Krishna asked Sanjaya, "You go to your guest house, take rest, come evening before leaving." So when Sanjaya comes to Krishna's palace, Sanjaya saw a terrible scene wherein Arjuna was putting his head on Mother Rukmini's lap and putting his legs on Krishna's lap, and Krishna was doing massage. Krishna was massaging whom? Arjuna. It is a very shocking scene for Sanjaya because Krishna is Bhagavan, everybody knows. This fellow, without any respect to God, he is putting his head on Rukmini, and what is this? Then Krishna says, "You have seen? Go and tell." This is the nearness between both of us. As long as I am with Arjuna, nobody can win Arjuna. Go and tell. Like that. So this nearness, putting legs on Bhagavan's lap, fighting with Bhagavan, is Sakhya Bhava. Then sixth one is Madhura Bhava, attitude between lovers. Madhura Bhava or Prema Bhava they call it. Attitude between lovers. The attitude between Krishna and Radha is the example given in these scriptures. All these attitudes manifested in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. All these attitudes Sri Ramakrishna practiced and established the validity of scriptures. Scriptures say you can get the Lord through this particular attitude. So who has to verify? Only Bhagavan can come and give the attestation. What I told in the scriptures is a fact. That is the purpose of avatara. What is the purpose of avatara? Dharma sthapanatvam. Dharma sthapana happens not by killing someone else. Dharma sthapana happens at two levels. One is protection of the scripture and protection of the people who follow the scripture. Paritranaya sadhuna. So how you protect the people who follow the scriptural way of life? By giving repeated assertion that what scripture says is 100% correct. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavastitau jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. Yes, shastra vidhimutsujya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhim avapnot na sukham na parangatim. He says in Gita. Arjuna, therefore Shastra will be the guide for your spiritual life. Karya karya vyavastito shastram pramanam te. If a person says that I will not follow the scriptural way of life, nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na parangatim, he will not gain any spiritual attainments nor happiness in this world. Therefore shastram pramanam te. So he has to establish shastric injunction, shastric revelations. Shastra says Bhagavan can be related in this attitude. These are all the 6 types of attitudes. So Sri Ramakrishna took each one particular attitude at a particular time and established, yes, this is the fact. So Dasya Bhava, which was practiced by Hanumanji, Sri Ramakrishna also practiced. 6 months, more than 6 months, he used to spend time on the top of the tree. Imagine a human being sitting on the tree and jumping like a monkeys and wearing a tail type of dress with tail. And he says, when I was in that bhava, I developed tail also in my body, he says. Tail has come, it seems. That type of identity with that particular role. By practicing that Hanumat Bhava, Dasya Bhava, he had the vision of Mother Sita. Then Vatsalya Bhava. Vatsalya Bhava, which was practiced by Mother Yashoda, Dasharatha and Himavan, was practiced by Sri Ramakrishna also. There was a Vaishnavite monk Jadhadhari. So he had one Balarama's Pratima, statue of child Rama. So he used to carry wherever he used to go. When he came to Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna happened to see that this is not a mere statue, here Rama has come to play with me. So he says, Balarama escaped the protected situation of Jadadhari, because generally any sadhu who keeps the Lord will be keeping the Lord how? In a protected manner. So your puja articles are kept where? On the road. It is kept in a protected manner. Similarly, this Jadadhari also has kept this particular statue. It is very difficult for me to tell even the word statue, because it is not statue, even though it appeared as statue for an ordinary person. It was not statue for Sri Ramakrishna and Jadadhari. So Sri Ramakrishna goes and says to Ramlala, the statue's name was Ramlala. Ramlala, will you come with me? I will feed you. I will be your mother. I will come. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, that fellow came to me, rejecting Jadadhari, escaping from Jadadhari's protected situation, and he always played with me. All the time he was adamant, asked me to take to Ganga, and when I took to Ganga, he was refusing to come back to shore. So I got very angry. Then I pushed his head inside the water and he was gasping for the sake of breath. Like that he was explaining. After reading this, you go to Kamarpukur and to see what is this Ramlala. For ordinary eyes, the Ramlala, which is described as a living entity, as an adamant entity who is to quarrel with Sri Ramakrishna, who is to eat from the hands of Sri Ramakrishna, to whom Sri Ramakrishna was Mother Kaushalya, that Ramlala appears to ordinary eyes as a small statue. It is there still in Kamarpukur. So that bhava has given liveliness to that particular form. So Sri Ramakrishna practiced that Vatsalya bhava. In Vatsalya bhava, two divisions I told. Being mother of the Lord or father of the Lord, and being son of the Lord. Second one is being son of the Lord. They call it apatya bhavam. So he considered himself as the child of Divine Mother. So if you read Sri Ramakrishna's life, you find that he used to cajole Divine Mother, he used to scold Divine Mother, he used to sleep on the mat which is meant for Divine Mother. You go to any temple, Vaishnava temple, they keep some bedroom for the... Here also we have bedroom for Lord, special vessel for puja. Others cannot use it for their purpose. But in Sri Ramakrishna's life, we find that one mouth is for Divine Mother, next mouth is for him. If any pujari does like this puja, what you will do? You will throw away from that job. Correct? Hey, he has become mad. That's what happened in Sri Ramakrishna's life also. Other priests consider, oh, pagal ho gaya. He has become mad. Suppose he talks, oh mother, please eat. Oh, you want me to eat? All right, I will eat. Now you eat. Come, time is over. Let us go for sleep. Come, I will put you into sleep. Oh, you want me to sleep? Okay, I will say sleep with you. Like that he used to lie down on the bed which is meant for Mother Kali. He used to eat the food which is meant for Mother Kali, like that. How Sri Ramakrishna says, for others it is a mere mridmayi, a statue made up of mud. For me, she is Chinmayi. And he is to verify whether mother is breathing or not. How to verify a person is breathing or not? So he is to take cotton and put like this. If breathing is there, cotton will fly. Even idea of trying will not come to ordinary minds. But this life we find, he has practiced that. Bhava, apatya bhava, aham ishwarasya apatyaha. Apatyaha means son, child. So by this he had the vision of Mother Kali. Then fourth one is Sakhya Bhavaha, which was practiced by cowherd boys of Vrindavan and Arjuna. Sri Ramakrishna considered himself as the Sakhi to Divine Mother. It's a very funny sadhana. He used to dress like a woman. And he used to talk. He used to imitate the gestures of women. He used to wear the ornaments of the women. When he was immersed in that bhava, Durga Puja came. Mathur Babu requested Sri Ramakrishna to attend the Durga Puja in his house. Sri Ramakrishna went with male dress only. After going there, suddenly this attitude came up in his mind. Now mother is going to come and I have to invite her, I will fan her like that. Sri Ramakrishna went to Mathur Babu's wife. You give me your sari. Why? I want to wear this. What is this, Baba? No, you give. So she gave best silk sari. And Sri Ramakrishna wore that sari, of course, with the blouse and other thing. Exactly looked like a woman. And he covered his head and wearing earring and nose ring like that. And took the chamara and started fanning Divine Mother. Mathur Babu came for Arati and he observed, Who is this new woman? I never saw. None of my relatives are like this. Like that he observed. Then after the puja over, he asked his wife, who is that new woman? Then she laughed. I am asking who is this new woman? She is not woman at all. Then she is our Baba, Sri Ramakrishna. He was astonished to see the perfection. And in later days also, Sri Ramakrishna used to imitate like mothers. Seeing which monastic disciples, they used to laugh and roll on the floor. That much of perfection. That Sakhi Bhava he used to practice. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda says, you are the embodiment of Sattvic spiritual attitudes. Then next word, Chira Unmada. Ever intoxicated. Chira means ever, long lasting. Unmada means intoxicated. Unmattaha means a mad person. Intoxicated person. So, Chira Unmada, ever intoxicated. Intoxicated with what? An ordinary man is intoxicated with money, intoxicated with lust, intoxicated with other drinks, special drinks. But Sri Ramakrishna was intoxicated with divine nature. Ever intoxicated with divine nature, ever intoxicated with divine forms, ever intoxicated with divine namas, ever intoxicated with divine leelas. 4 aspects. The object of intoxication is normal thing for a normal person. Here, the object of intoxication is what? Bhagavat Tattvam, Bhagavat Rupam, Bhagavat Nama, Bhagavat Leela. Each one we will see. With regard to Bhagavat Tattvam, his intoxication was such an intense one. When Totapuri came and taught Advaita Vedanta and found that disciple is established in that Advaita Vedanta Tattvam, Sri Ramakrishna stayed in Nirvikalpika Samadhi Jada Avastha, they call it, for 6 continuous months. No food, no water, no sleep. And seeing his condition, a monk took on himself the responsibility of protecting that body. So daily he is to come and beat with a stick and push some part of food in his mouth. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, it seems others told, when I was in that situation, birds used to have nest on my head. It is like a log of wood. That type of intoxication. Not only in particular state of mind, his intoxication with Bhagavat Tattvam, he could not see any other thing other than the Lord. He used to say, every person for me is Bhagavan coming with a particular Vesha. Like a air pillow. Varieties of pillows. But all the pillows are filled with what? Same air. Like that, he used to say, I could not recognize any other thing as a second entity other than the Lord. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. Bhagavan says in Gita. One who is established in this knowledge that there is no second entity other than the Lord, then I am never lost to him, nor he is lost to me. Generally, we are lost to Lord. 23 hours we are lost to Lord. 1 hour we are present to the Lord. Balance 23 hours, absent to the Lord. Morning half an hour, evening half an hour. If a person is good person, that too. And even in that 1 hour also, now and then we are absent to the Lord. As even we are meditating on Lord, son-in-law will come, father-in-law will come, mother-in-law will come, now and then. It's all thought process, na? The presence of Lord we recognize in the thought process. We have to search our heart and say, how many minutes or how many seconds we are with the Lord, one with the Lord in our thought process. But here Bhagavan says, this person who has established himself in this tattva, Bhagavad Tattva. He is never absent to me, nor I am absent to him. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. One who sees me everywhere. Sarvam cha mayi pashyati. One who sees everything in me. Tasyaham na pranashyami. I am not absent to him. Sachame na pranashyati. So we see that in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. His intoxication with divine tattva. Then, for every epithet, I am giving some glimpse. If you study Sri Ramakrishna's life, as described by Swami Sharadananji Maharaj, then you will find what a grand understanding these direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna had. Sri Ramakrishna's intoxication with regard to forms, various forms of the Lord. Generally, an ordinary person is stuck to one particular form and he hates other forms. Majority of religious quarrel is because of what? Because of this sticking. Fevicol. So this fellow is habituated to stuck to anything. When he is introduced to the Lord, he is stuck with one form of the Lord. He is not able to appreciate the grandness of other forms also. In all religions, these type of people who are called fanatics are there. In all religions. But in Sri Ramakrishna's life, we find his love for various types of forms of the Lord. Not only in Hindu scriptures, he was very much loved to see the forms which are described in the other cultures and other scriptures. And when he was small boy, simply he was decorated like Shiva. Drama was arranged on Shivaratri day. The person who has to play the role of Shiva got fever. Suddenly, half an hour before, they found he cannot perform that. Therefore, they requested this boy, 7-year-old Gadadhar. Gadadhar immediately agreed. Gadadhar means Sri Ramakrishna. Agreed. So they decorated him nicely. He got the simple Vesha of Shiva. Then they brought him on the stage. Few dialogues only they gave him. When he was in green room, nicely he has repeated as even he came on the stage, gone. He lost himself in that form. Then all people, audience, hey, tell dialogue. Who is the person to tell dialogue? The person has gone. One with the Lord's form. So, ultimately the drama had to be cancelled. Shivaratri drama was cancelled. That was his nature. 18-year-old youth, he saw all people coming to Dakshineshwar Kali temple and doing archana, puja, this, that, and all aratis. He asked himself, is this reality? Is this form, is Bhagavan's form? When he asked, everybody told, yes, Bhagavan's form. Okay, I will verify it. So 4 years of cry to know whether this form, the Kali's form, is Bhagavan's form or not. He got the darshan of Kali. Similarly, he got the darshan of Sita, Krishna, Radha, even Christ. So, his love for form of the Lord. For others, it may be a mere statue. A pujari of Radhakanta temple, Krishna's temple, when he carried that Krishna statue from one place to another place, it got broken. A broken statue cannot be kept for worship. So they were about to throw away. Finally, Madhur Babu told, let us ask this Kali temple pujari. Who was that Kali temple pujari? Sri Ramakrishna. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, how is it possible? You cannot throw it. It is divine. No, Baba, you cannot keep the broken statue. It's not statue. It is divine. It is Lord. Will you throw your son-in-law just because his legs are broken? Like that he asked. Rani Rasamani found the intensity of love of Sri Ramakrishna for the divine form. Then they requested him to repair that leg, and Sri Ramakrishna repaired that broken statue. Till date it is worshipped, till date. Like that, his love for mere appearance, mere form is something grand. He was intoxicated with Lord's form, divine forms. And his love for divine namas, his intoxication for divine names is something very, very grand. His Guru Totapuri taught him Advaita Tattvam and witnessed Sri Ramakrishna could assimilate that and stay in that Tattva for long days. Then he was convinced that my disciple gained the knowledge. Then after a few days he saw Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in Kali's temple and chanting Mother's glory, singing song, clapping the hands. For a Advaitic Acharya, it is a shocking scene. Just yesterday also I saw him sitting in Samadhi. Again he has come down or what from that plane? Because according to Totapuri, unless a person gains the physical identity, he cannot be a devotee who sings the song of the Lord. Correct? So far I taught him that he is not body at all, he is not mind at all. He is all-pervasive entity. I thought he has assimilated it. Now suddenly this fellow is chanting Lord's name and clapping. In a joking way he asked, "Are you making roti?" It is clapping means, are you making roti? Ki roti kochena ki. Are you making roti? Now you have to imagine a situation. Guru is trying to verify whether the Shishya has come down from the Advaitic plane to the dualistic plane. And Shishya is immersed in that dualistic attitude and singing the glory of the Lord. Now Shishya retorts Guru, he scolds his Guru. What? I am singing the Lord's glory. You are criticizing that I am making roti, like that. So that much love for Bhagavad Nama. And there were lots of witnesses who witnessed the intoxication of Sri Ramakrishna. Suddenly, night hours, he will get up, keeping his dress under the arms. What purpose? I don't know. I still able to don't understand. Either he keep dress on body or outside. Keeping the dress on arms and without having any dress. He used to walk like a child. And the people, the disciples who used to sleep there, he used to wake up. Get up, get up. Tell Ramanam, tell Krishnanam. Midnight. Yo, now only we slept. This madman doesn't have sleep. He doesn't allow us also to sleep like that. That love for Lord's name is something grand. Seeing his intoxication, many people thought certainly he had foreign drink. When Girish and these people like Kalipada Ghosh came, when Kalipada Ghosh came, Guru Maharaj, Sri Ramakrishna was in intoxication with divine form. Kalipada Ghosh was a drunkard. So he asked, "Sir, are you so happy?" "Yes, I am very happy." "Sir, this much happiness I never saw with any person, sir." "What brand, sir?" "International brand." Sri Ramakrishna told, international brand or intercontinental brand. International brand. "Sir, please name it, sir." All the while I am spending lot of money to get that intoxication. I see that the intoxication which you are enjoying is something grand. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, only one time you can take it. One time, whole life I will be in like this intoxication? Yes, yes. Sir, what is the brand name, sir? Come. Sri Ramakrishna, see the compassion of the Lord. a person comes in this condition, to him, Sri Ramakrishna gives the Nama Diksha to Kalipada Ghosh. And Kalipada Ghosh got same intoxication which Sri Ramakrishna was enjoying by Sri Ramakrishna's grace and blessing. Then he could not withstand, he could not stop telling the Lord's name. And he was having desire to drink also. What is this man fellow did with me? I thought he will give some brand name of alcohol. He has given some mantra. It is not going away from me also. Then he came and requested, this is not the item I wanted from you, sir. So Sri Ramakrishna told, this is the item, only item I have with me. So sometimes he used to ask Sarada Devi, am I drunk? Am I drunk? Yes, yes. Which brand? Then Sarada Devi will tell one time, one answer. You are drunk with mother's name, you are drunk with Krishna's name, like that. That was the nature. And his intoxication with divine Leela is something very, very grand. So according to him, the very manifestation of this body is mother's Agnya. He used to say, for the welfare of the world, Divine Mother has assumed this form. One who has assumed the form of Krishna, one who has assumed the form of Rama, has assumed the form of Sri Ramakrishna, like that he himself used to say. So entire life is, according to him, is divine Leela. So when that form, Sri Ramakrishna's body got cancer, that also is part of Leela. We say Bhagavan's grace when nice things come to our life. It's all Bhagavan's blessing, Leela. When some slap comes, immediately we start scolding Bhagavan. What Leela it is? Leela means play. Play means a source of happiness, correct? That which gives us happiness. When nice thing comes, we accept it as a source of happiness. Leela, Bhagavat Leela. When sorrowful things come, we reject it. But in Sri Ramakrishna's life, we find the very cancer which came to his body. He accepted that cancer also as Mother's Leela. Do you know why this disease has come? So disciple could not answer. Otherwise, they will come and cheat me and take my blessings without doing any sadhana. Therefore, Mother has given this disease so that ordinary people will not believe that here is a treasure, spiritual treasure. They will go away. Hey, this fellow also a cancer patient. Like that they will go away. So to hide me, because I am in like a child's condition, anything anybody asks I can give. So others may come and make use of this situation. Therefore Mother has given me. Then they told, these explanations we don't accept. Go and pray to Kali to cure your disease. All the disciples and devotees used to request. If you pray to Kali, she will certainly cure. No, how can I pray? Already the praying mind is offered to Kali. Who is that to pray? Then they forced him. They even took him to Kali temple and left him at the door of the Kali temple. As even he entered, Mother showed that you are the person who is eating all these mouths. Through all mouths you are eating. You are eating through the mouths of millions and millions of jivas. Still you want to eat through this mouth also. Like that vision happened. Then with all irritation, Sri Ramakrishna came out. Idiots, I told you the fact that I am eating through all mouths. You fellows never believed it. That's what Mother also told. Mother showed that I am eating through all mouths, through your mouths. Like that. That intoxicate. In that situation also, the love and intoxication, that identity with that Leela is something grand. Bhagavatam says this condition. Evam vratasya priyanama kirtya jatanurago druta chitta uchchaihi hasatyata rodati raudigayati unmadavad nrityati lokabhahyaha. He is a lokabhahyaha. He is not at all in the world. Therefore only what he does, he himself doesn't know. Hasati. Sometimes he laughs. Rodati, shouts. Raudati, cries. Gayati, sings. Dances. Unmatavati, nrityati. Like a mad fellow, sometimes he cries and shouts and dances, sings, laughs. How is it possible? Swa priyanama kirtya jathanuragaha. The love, anuraga, the intense love, intoxication with the divine form, name and leela make him as a lokabhahya. That's why we could see in Sri Ramakrishna's life that he used to sleep with Mother Kali, he used to eat mother's food, and he used to do all the things which were considered as avaidikam in puja paddhati. There is a vidhi to do puja. He used to violate all the vidhis. And when pujaris of that Kali temple wrote letter to Mathur Babu, who happened to be the owner, Mathur Babu told, I will come without information and verify the condition, whether he has become mad or something else. When he came, he saw Sri Ramakrishna's love, intoxication for mother and mother's name, and then he told, whatever way he want to worship the mother, he will be allowed. If anybody disturbs him, he will be removed from the job. Like that, he warned other priests and gave full freedom for Sri Ramakrishna's expression of divine love. Then next epithet comes Prema Patar. The reason for this intoxication with the Lord's form, Lord's Nama and Lord's Leela is explained in the epithet Prema Patar, ocean of unconditional love. That we will see in the next class. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamedyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namami. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.